What's up, YouTube? Man, it's cold today. 23 degrees. I got my lemon tea here, so we're chilling. You see my breath. Today, I'm not really. I don't know. I woke up at like 3, and I was too jacked up about trying to decide what I want to talk about today. I don't know. There's a few things on my mind. Nothing's really pressing though. So let me just cover a few different things. Number one, abundance is out there. If you don't know what abundance is basically the intent, the realization that I can get mine, meaning I can get paid, I can invest, I can be an entrepreneur, I can make it. I can make wealth happen for myself, and that doesn't take away from someone who could be living right next door and trying to do the exact same things that I'm doing, right? We both can win. And why is that true? Because if you think about how many people are on earth, how many resources are available out there, and I don't think people realize how much money is really in the system. And how much money you receive is based on how much value you can create and what services you can provide for people, right? That's what it comes down to. And me doing a service or providing value or creating a product that brings value to someone, that doesn't take away from your ability to do the same thing. Even if you live right next door, your name is also Eric, and you're trying to do the exact same thing as me. So don't like get jealous, don't hate on others. Like, we should celebrate those who have been successful and those who are successful and lift them up and shine a light on them, right? Instead of I think how this manifests, and I've seen this personally, I've done this in the past with a more limited mindset, is having an idea, right? You have this idea and you think it's like golden ticket, going to Willy Wonka's, I'm gonna see Willy Wonka, and someone asks you like what you're up to, what you're thinking, or you got friends who are they have more entrepreneurial minds and they're trying to do something similar, and yet you want to protect that secret, that idea. You don't want to share it, right? Because if you share your ideas, then you won't be able to make as much money or do as much, right? You won't be able to succeed as well as you could if you kept that to yourself and hid it. Let me tell you something. Ideas are a dime a dozen. There's some very creative, very smart people out there who I'm sure have much better ideas than you or I. And you could probably go out and pay them, $10 an hour just to come up with ideas for you, if that's what it's all about. Everyone has an idea about how to make big money, or what business they could create that would be huge. Let me tell you something. It's not about ideas. It's about executing. It's about the execution, and it's about the systems you implement. It's about the businesses you create. It's about the people that you surround yourself with, and that you build up, and that you input into your businesses. And that's what it comes down to. So let's not be scarcity minded. Let's be abundantly minded, meaning let's all make gobs of money if that's what we want to do, or let's all create all the freedom we could possibly imagine. Now, I asked this question on my LinkedIn profile, and I asked this question to every entrepreneur I talk to, every business owner. What does success mean to you? What does business success look like for you? Is it money? Is it freedom? Is it influence? Is it your ability to express yourself creatively or to innovate? And I haven't answered that question for myself yet. But I'm curious about what you think. If you made it through this far, what does success mean to you? Is it just a number in a bank account? Is it your money? But you have to consider something like, that doesn't sound romantic, right? And it's like trendy now to not, like, yeah, you can be wealthy, but it's trendy now to talk about something else. But here's the thing that money creates. Money creates that freedom. And in a lot of ways, money creates influence. Think about athletes who made it big, right? I mean, you have an athlete who's just as good when they start, and they have a certain amount of influence and power and prestige. And then 5-10 years into the game, and they're worth a few $100 million. I'm talking about like the big A-list athletes. And now all of a sudden they carry a lot more weight, a lot more influence, especially in the organization themselves. And you can see that. And so that comes from money. Like, we shouldn't shit on the idea that it's not all about money. It's like, it's more about what we do with our time. Yeah, that's all true, but you have to consider like the realities of what it can provide. And I think that question is complex because I think all those things are kind of wrapped into each other. Right? Money, freedom, influence. I think they're definitely wrapped into each other. You can certainly have one without any of the others, but I don't know. I think it's all important. Let me know what your thoughts are. And don't forget, abundance over scarcity. There's plenty to go around. There's more than enough for all of us to be swimming in pools of money and gummy bears, if that's what you want. I mean, there's plenty, okay? So number one, don't hide your ideas. Number two, don't forget or don't withhold celebrating the success of others just because you think it's going to take away from what you have. Like, oh, I'm not going to shine a light on that because if they're even more successful, then I'm not going to give mine. Let's stop thinking like that. Let's all do it together. Why not? Even strangers. This is what happens, is people forget when you look at a stranger or you see someone that you know is well off and they walk into a room. There's two types of people. Well, actually, there's three types. There's one person who walks up, asks for a picture, walks away. There's another person who sits at the table, talks trash, doesn't do shit, and feels worse about themselves, right? Because in that moment, you feel a little bit better. I got some gossip out. Oh, isn't that person just so low-minded? Look how high they are, and blah, blah. And then they go on about their day, and they realize, oh, I'm not doing shit. I feel terrible. Then there's a third person who celebrates them, congratulates them, and feels genuinely happy for that person, and then tries to provide some kind of value, some kind of proposition, right, where they can trade. Maybe they learn something in return, like, hey, let me do some free advertising for you. Do you want to? I'll do a quick bit and I'll post it and can you say something to me? Can you provide some kind of value for me? Or like, can you give me advice? What can you tell me about? I'm just trying to start out and do what you're doing. Like, that ends up paying off so much better, of course, than talking trash, but also of just being a fan. Like, let's not be fans. Let's get alongside those that are successful and try and learn from them. And that comes from the abundance thing, right? Abundance, gratitude, being happy with what you got, where you're at, and also being happy for others. No one wants to see people fail. If there's really, that's not right. We shouldn't want to see other people fail. Even this is tricky. Say there's a group of 4 friends You don't want other people to do worse off than you just so that you can say, hey, I'm the best. I'm the king of this group. I'm the top dog of this group. Why is that? Because all 3 of my friends are still working at Starbucks. Look at me. Man, that ain't right. We should all get rich. We should all be happy. We should all have the things that make us happy, and we should all have wealth and abundance and gratitude. So pass it along. Pass it along today. Find someone you know who's not doing well, maybe with their mindset, spirituality, whatever it is. Pass it along. Make them feel better. Show them a little of that abundance. Share that. And I got that lemon tea. I think I already mentioned that, but it's 4 a.m. This is what happens at 4 a.m. If you made it this far in the video, let me tell you something. Wake up early. Earlier than you are waking up. Just try it. Not for a day, not even for a week. Try it for a month. Sounds like a big commitment, Eric. I don't know if I can do that. Try it. Come on. What do you got to lose? There's so much valuable time in the morning. I'm telling you, you gotta start. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I love you. See you in the next one.